In the world of NFL football, talent and potential often meet skepticism, but it's high time we recognize the undeniable prowess of Jordan Love as he strides into the spotlight. Where are you watching from, Packers fans? Share your thoughts below because there's a lot to unpack here regarding Love's trajectory and the future of the Green Bay Packers. Since stepping in as the starting quarterback for the Packers in 2023, Love has demonstrated he belongs in the conversation among the league's elite, even if he's not yet mentioned alongside the likes of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Critics may try to undermine his value, but the statistics and performances speak volumes. Recent discussions, such as those on MIN AGO's podcast with analyst Ben Solak, highlight what sets Love apart from the crowd. Let's break down why it's crucial for us to acknowledge Love's contributions and value as we look toward the future. Last season, Love finished impressively among his peers, ranking second in expected points added per dropback, EPA/DB, third overall in quarterback rating, QBR, second on third downs, and third in DVOA. These metrics collectively place him firmly within the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, dispelling any doubts cast by naysayers. His aggressive throwing style has been a significant driver of his productivity, and it's impossible to ignore the statistics that back this up. Since taking the reins, he ranks third in adjusted EPA per play and air yards, while also landing 12th in success rate and 14th in completion percentage over expectation. This performance trajectory showcases that he's not just getting by. He's evolving into a consistently effective quarterback. Some may point to his playoff record of 1-3 as a red flag, but let's be real here. Those outings are often a reflection of the entire team's effort rather than solely on Love's shoulders. Since 2021, he has generated the highest EPA per dropback in the NFL, surpassing even the big names like Mahomes, Stafford, and Allen. To suggest that Love's success is merely a byproduct of head coach Matt LaFleur's system would be a disservice to his talent. Yes, LaFleur plays a pivotal role, but the execution falls squarely on Love, who has risen to the occasion time and again. Additionally, while the receiving corps has shown flashes of brilliance, it cannot be argued that they rank amongst the best in the NFC North. This raises a crucial point. As the Packers continue to build and add talent around Love, they position themselves as serious contenders in the NFC landscape. It's time for fans and pundits alike to bury the pre- and post-draft criticisms. Jordan Love is proving he's not just a placeholder. He's a cornerstone for the franchise. As we move on to our next segment, keep in mind that Love represents the hope and potential of this team. If the front office can complement his skills with the right pieces, we could see the Packers not only competing, but thriving in the upcoming seasons. So, what else is on the horizon for Green Bay? Let's dive into our next news item.
The clock is ticking for defensive tackle Devonte Wyatt as he enters a pivotal year in his career with the Green Bay Packers. With the 2026 season looming, Wyatt's future hangs in the balance, and the question on everyone's mind is whether the Packers will extend his contract or let him walk after the season. Fans, where are you watching from? Share your thoughts on Wyatt's performance and what should be done about his future in green and gold. Wyatt, selected in the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft with the 28th pick overall, has had a rocky journey since donning the Packers jersey. Despite being the second player from his college team, Georgia, drafted that year, following fellow Bulldog Quay Walker, Wyatt's impact was initially muted. He didn't start a single game in his rookie season and managed to start only 5 games in his first 2 years. While he showcased some ability to provide a pass rush from the interior, inconsistency against the run limited him from becoming a full-time starter until 2025. The 2023 season marked a turning point for Wyatt, as he recorded a career high with 5.5 sacks and 11 quarterback hits, showing glimpses of the player the Packers hoped to develop. But just as Wyatt began to find his stride, disaster struck. In Week 13 of the 2025 season, he suffered a fractured fibula, prematurely ending his campaign. This injury had a noticeable impact on the Packers' pass rush, which faltered without his presence on the field. The value of Wyatt to the Packers' defense was not lost on his peers. Even Micah Parsons, the standout linebacker, acknowledged Wyatt's importance. "He makes my life easier," Parsons stated, pinpointing Wyatt's understanding of the game and how his play style benefits the entire defense. The impact of Wyatt's absence was stark. Parsons noted the void left by Wyatt, emphasizing that the team would have to rely on younger players to step up in his absence, a challenge that is not easily overcome. For the Packers, extending Wyatt's contract could be a sound decision, provided he returns to form this season. However, the organization has valid reasons to proceed with caution. The severity of Wyatt's injury raises red flags, and the Packers will undoubtedly want to assess his performance before committing to a long-term deal. While Wyatt demonstrated significant improvement, he remains an unpredictable player in the eyes of many scouts. Last season was the first time in his 4-year career that he logged over 50% of the defensive snaps, completing 60% of snaps on defense in 2025. His run defense, though better, still leaves room for improvement. Age is another factor weighing on the Packers' decision-making process. At 28 years old, Wyatt is already considered a seasoned player entering his 5th NFL season. Should the Packers opt for an extension, he would be 29 at the start of that deal. Historically, GM Brian Gutekunst has been reluctant to offer contracts to players over 30, with only a few exceptions made for Pro Bowl talents like David Bakhtiari and Kenny Clark, deals that haven't panned out as hoped due largely to injuries. Ultimately, it's likely that Gutekunst will adopt a wait-and-see approach regarding Wyatt's future. If he returns to action and performs at a high level, a contract extension could be in the cards. Yet, with other emerging talents like Christian Watson and Tucker Kraft demanding attention, the Packers have tough decisions to make this offseason about where to allocate their resources. As we look ahead, all eyes will be on Wyatt as he attempts to solidify his place in the Packers' future. With so much at stake, how will he respond? The narrative is still unfolding, and we're here to dissect every moment. Up next, we'll shift our focus to another intriguing aspect of the Packers' offseason plans. Stay tuned. As we dive deeper into the Packers' evolving receiver landscape, one name continues to resonate loudly: Matthew Golden. His arrival has not only sparked excitement, but is also forcing Green Bay into a complex discussion regarding Christian Watson's future with the team. Fans, where are you watching from? And what do you think about the potential shift in the receiver hierarchy? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Golden's impact during early offseason practices has been palpable. The rookie first-round pick is already garnering praise for his polish, explosiveness, and quick adaptability to the offense. This is crucial for a Packers team that is shifting from merely developing young talent to expecting immediate contributions as Jordan Love steps into a pivotal phase of his career. The urgency to win now means that the receiver room needs to transform from potential to production, and Golden is positioning himself as a player who can make that transition seamless. However, this newfound depth complicates matters for Watson. He possesses the rare athleticism that makes him one of the most dangerous threats on the field when healthy. Yet, that has been the crux of the issue: his availability. Over 4 seasons, Watson has only suited up for 48 games, missing significant time due to various injuries, including hamstring issues and a torn ACL late in the 2024 season. Yet, when he's on the field, the numbers speak for themselves: 611 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns in just 10 games last season, averaging an impressive 17.5 yards per catch. That's the kind of production that can change games. Last season, the Packers began adapting to Watson's sporadic presence by expanding the roles of Jaden Reed, Romeo Dew, and Ontavian Wicks. With Golden now in the mix, the pressure mounts. This isn't a team that can afford to keep waiting on Watson to reach his potential if injuries continue to plague him. The Packers have developed the depth needed to make tough long-term decisions, and that could mean reevaluating Watson's place in the future of this offense. Internally, the organization still holds Watson's ceiling in high regard. A healthy Watson paired with Golden could potentially give Green Bay one of the most dynamic receiving duos in the league. But that's becoming less of a foregone conclusion with the realities of contracts and roster management looming large. Watson has just signed a 1-year extension worth $13.25 million, including a signing bonus, which keeps him in Green Bay through the 2026 season. Meanwhile, Golden is on a rookie deal, bringing fresh draft capital and the ability to contribute immediately. As the months unfold, the narrative will be framed as healthy competition within a talented room. But the reality is that Golden's rapid ascent may be accelerating one of the most significant decisions the franchise will face soon. Will Watson remain a key cog in this offense, or will he become the player the Packers eventually outgrow? The Packers didn't just draft Matthew Golden to add speed. They drafted him to fill a role that they hoped Watson would solidify. Golden is that vertical separator who can alter coverage schemes and create explosive plays for Love. The emerging storyline this offseason is that they may have drafted Watson's eventual replacement. Golden's production creates an intriguing dynamic within the Packers' offense. As a younger, Healthier and potentially more refined route runner, he's already making strides in Matt LaFleur's system. While his rookie numbers might not immediately jump off the page, the context is essential. Golden converted an impressive 58.8% of his third and fourth down targets into first downs, ranking among the best on the roster, and he excels in separation metrics. His hands are quick and reliable, almost as if they were made of Velcro when it comes to catching the ball. His explosive speed and agility after the catch only add to his allure. As of now, the Packers don't have to make a choice between Watson and Golden, and one can envision an offense where Golden's precision complements Watson's ability to stretch the field. But let's be honest, sentimentality rarely lasts in the cutthroat world of the NFL. Watson stands at another contract crossroads while still recovering from a serious knee injury, and the Packers have made a significant investment in Golden as part of Love's future. If Watson can stay healthy, Green Bay could be looking at one of the most formidable receiver pairings in the NFC. If injuries continue to derail his career, though, Golden's development might quicken a transition the organization has been quietly preparing for since that historic draft moment when they selected him. The excitement in Green Bay was palpable when the Packers drafted Matthew Golden, marking their first time selecting a receiver in the first round in 23 years. Fans were ready for change, ready for an infusion of talent that could push this team forward. As we wrap up the segment, it's clear that the unfolding dynamics within the Packers' receiving core will be a storyline to watch closely. The pressure is mounting for decisions to be made, and the future of Christian Watson hangs in the balance. What do you think will happen next? Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates on the Green Bay Packers.